Well, India was sent into bat by Australia in Thiruvananthapuram, the second T20 international, and Australia has had 20 overs to regret that decision. India getting to a mammoth 235 in 20 overs. So the loss of just 4 wickets and, well, 3 half-centuries. Ruturaj Gaikwad got his at 135. Jaiswal got his at over 200 of a strike rate. And Ishan Kishan, a healthy strike rate for him as well, particularly on 3 fast bowlers that the Indian batters were really brutal. There were 3 of them, and 3 who kind of got okay. They gave away 8.5 to 9 and over. And you know it's been a good batting day when Zach, 8.5 and 9 are your good bowling performances.
Clearly, you rightly put it out there. It's a mammoth total.
Yeah.
And the pitch, if you just look at the pitch and whether there was help on offer, how a bowler could have utilized these conditions, you feel that this total is not actually reflecting that.
Okay.
So what does that tell you? It just tells you that it's a sheer brilliance in batting, which was on display today, which all the batters really put it out there. The top order, all of them scoring those 50, setting that strong platform. Yashasvi Jaiswal to start with was superb in putting pressure on the bowlers. But Indian batters have not let any of the Aussie bowlers settle.
Yep.
You've seen that little bit of turn and bounce from Sangha. You've seen it from Zampa. But they couldn't do anything with the force of this Indian batting lineup, which just took the bowling completely apart.
They played very well in tandem. The partnerships were played very well, weren't they, Parthiv?
Absolutely. I think the main thing was the power play when Zach reflected on the pitch. When you consider 77 or 77 in first 6 overs, then it becomes very difficult for any team to make a comeback. The only phase where they went for a runner ball was between 7 to 10 when Ishan Kishan and Ruturaj Gaikwad were taking that time when Yashasvi Jaiswal got out. But otherwise, India was totally in control. And obviously, there was a bit of spin. The ball was sticking on the wicket. That is the reason why you see Sangha and Zampa's figure have not gone beyond 40. But otherwise, I thought Yashasvi Jaiswal was pick of the batter today. I think the way he batted, you see a strike rate over 200 and you think that he would have just smashed bowlers all around the park. But it was total cricketing shots. He was probably using the pace really well, playing the angles really well, not trying to hit it that hard, which we spoke about in Combox as well. And when you can bat like this, you don't have to go out there and slog or try to do anything extra, which Yashasvi Jaiswal wasn't doing, and that is the reason why you could see the strike rate of 212.
Yeah, there were the sixes and of course the big hits, but there were also those fantastic square cuts where he was looking at the gaps and he was getting him. Jaiswal really, he had a 360 kind of batting effort today. But with the Indian batting with 235, and in that 235 you suddenly see 7 to 10 at a runner ball. A runner ball at any phase in T20 cricket, batting team would say, oh, we didn't do well. But if they had scored more than that, what did they get today? 250, 300? I shudder to think. So this has happened despite those 4 overs going at a runner ball. But they were fantastic. You can talk about those top 50s. And again, we say the top order batters have it slightly easier with the fielding restrictions, which is why you know what I'm setting up for. I'm setting up for my fave, our boy, Rink-a-Dink. Again today, he is just something else, this guy.
Well, it's one thing that, you have the platform.
Yeah.
And it's another thing that you finish that strongly to get to a total which is going to be take the opposition completely out, and the credit has to go to Rinku Singh here for that. Just 9 deliveries to score that 31 runs.
Yeah.
The platform was set. It's just about the back end of the innings. You got to make sure was sent up the order rightly by the Indian team management. So that call was also a box ticked there. The platform was set. You wanted Rinku Singh to come and have enough deliveries to make that impact, and the impact he has done.
The 19th over, bowled by Sean Abbott, has gone for 28. Now, Sean Abbott has bowled 3 overs today and given away more than 50 runs. First, it was 24 that he gave away in an over. Came back, bowled a 7-run over, which is perhaps what gave the confidence to the captain to give him the 19th and perhaps not the 20th or finish him off earlier. But they didn't finish him off today.
Yeah,
just
but
bowled 3.
they only had those two options. They didn't have that option either. They were going with two main frontline fast bowlers in Sean Abbott and Nathan Ellis. So they had to give him that over. You couldn't have given to Marcus Stoinis or Glenn Maxwell. So that is the reason why they had to give it to Sean Abbott. But as Zach said, I mean, the difference between 210 and 235 was Rinku Singh. Last game when we were talking about India did well by restricting Australia to 208. That was a gettable total. Here India has put on 20 extra runs where games just gone too far from Australia, and that could happen only because of the way Rinku Singh batted. Yes, you can talk about the Australia's bowling. They didn't get it right. There were a few full tosses here and there, but the sheer ability of hitting all round the park is something different. Finishing off the game. That we were talking about that in pre-show. That the finishers, we don't have that much of finishers, and Rinku Singh is one of them. The good thing about him is he doesn't premeditate anything. He stays in that position and then make sure, and he's always in a good position to hit it either side of the wicket, and that is the reason why the strike rate was 344. Now that his career strike rate would have gone above 250.
So that's the thing with Rinku. He doesn't premeditate. It looks like he's actually meditating the way he hits the ball, and the clean hitting that he does with the ball just at the end, it was absolutely fantastic. And we spoke about this in the previous game of how a difference between 210 and 230 is not just 20 runs, but when you take it there, the psychological difference becomes gettable to almost ungettable.
Yeah, it's huge. You know that the moment the game is 200 plus game, then you know that you're always going to have a chance defending that kind of a total.
Yeah.
You've seen that in the previous game also. Even though the game was an easy run chase, it still could have gone either way. So that's the kind of position you always have. Now add 20 runs to that, it's just only going to strengthen your position. It's also going to put the opposition under pressure in terms of taking risk in that middle phase also. The 7 to 10 over mark which you're talking about. Obviously the power play is going to become that more important. You'll have to try and match that 70-run power play and then look to make the play. So all those things, it's just going to add a tremendous amount of pressure on this Australian batting lineup when they're chasing down such a total.
Australia has never chased such a big total against India because India has never set such a big total against Australia. Yes, that's it. That's the record. This is India's highest score in a T20I against Australia. I was just thinking, this Sunday 235, last Sunday 241. How different the two tails are, right? But anyway, let's talk about today because, well, that's gone. I really wanted to use the term aade haathon. So I'm going to use it right now because Indian batters took 3 of the bowlers aade haathon today when you see those batting stats, the bowling stats.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Indian batters are doing. And this is actually the mindset of modern day batters.
Picking and choosing.
Just making sure that once you have put a bowler under pressure, let's say if you've hit 2 sixes in first 2 balls, they make sure that it becomes a very, very big over. Like this, which has happened 3 times in one inning where overs have gone over 20 runs. So,
Maxwell with the 23 as well.
Maxwell with the 23 as well, Sean Abbott twice, going over 20. So that puts a lot of pressure on other bowlers as well. So I think that's where the thinking has changed. It's not like the traditional thinking which we talk about, hit a boundary and take a single. Once you've hit a boundary, try and hit another one so that the bowlers under more pressure. And that's what Indian batters are doing right now.
Just a quick call, Zach, on the bowling selection that Australia has made today. It's very rare that you see 2 leg spinners playing, especially when you have a third spinner in Glenn Maxwell. Of course, he's been expensive today. But do you think that reading the pitch, reading the conditions, do you think that maybe Australia is regretting that call now, should have played Behrendorff?
If it's not a forced change, Behrendorff, the way he bowled in the previous game, he was pick up those bowlers there for Australia. So you would think that it's a forced change. Maybe some niggle there, maybe he's not available. Those kind of scenarios. But Australians will have to think about their bowling lineup. There's no doubt about that. Just the strong batting lineup of India, which is going to put bowlers under pressure. And on top of that, if you don't pick your main bowlers, it's just going to add that much more pressure. Today, in those kind of scenarios, what happened? A bowler who is supposed to finish 4 overs was put under pressure today, which is Sean Abbott, and Stoinis bowling that third over. So which shows that if you go in with this kind of a bowling lineup, you will always feel that pressure. If your main bowler goes for runs, you are exposing your part-time bowlers to bowl more overs, which is not going to put you in a strong position.
True.
Or in a position of attack. You've seen 209 being chased down in the first one. You've seen Indian team putting 230 plus here. So it just shows that Australians will have to look at those answers there and maybe strengthen the bowling lineup more.
Yeah.
For that, if they have to compromise a bit on batting, so be it.
Yeah, look at their batting today. I mean, I know the score's 235, but if there was ever a batting unit that you would want to be chasing this solid batting unit. There's Steve Smith, Matthew Short, Joss Inglis, this fantastic 100 in the previous game. Glenn Maxwell, we all know what he can do. We know what Tim David can do. Marcus Stoinis, we see him do it a lot at the top of the order in the Big Bash League, but he can do it very well at 6 as well. And Matthew Wade is a great batter. So You've got some solid batters there, Parthiv, but it's just too high a mountain.
It is. I mean, how many times you've seen 235 getting chased down? Yes, there will be a dew on the ground, which was pretty evident when Sangha was bowling, he was wiping that ball. But yeah, I mean, 235 is basically a very, very big task for Australia, and I mean they can't afford to have a phase like what Indian team had, 7 to 10 overs where India played with the run rate of 6. Now they can't afford to have. They basically have to go 12 and over from over number 1, and if there are 2 overs also goes like a 6 and over, it suddenly becomes 13, 14. It doesn't take that much of time, so that will keep on putting pressure on Australia. That will force Australia to play big shots from the ball number 1. So I think it's not going to be that easy for Australia to chase down this.
Well, 236 in 20 overs. Correction, 235 in 20 overs. First ball's a wide, so it has given a gift. 235 now remaining in 20 overs. Yes, of course, it seems to be a road which is just way too long, but these Aussie batters, you don't rule them out at all. They will definitely go hard at the power play, and that's why I am guessing that they will get 74 in the power.
Very seldom we see you starting the whole prediction.
Today I just felt like front foot. Calm down.
Yeah, front foot.
I'm learning from Wrinkle.
I'll go 69.
16, right?
63.
63.
63.
It's going to be 38 for 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we're going to be consistent, yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one way they're going to play this power play, right? So what we're basically telling you is either it'll be 70 or it'll be 35, right? There's not going to be no middle path in this game. All right, we're going to scoot out of here. See you at the end of the 10th over with the Cricbuzz Combox. We'll have a look at how Australia is doing with this chase. They obviously will have to bat out of their skins to get this total into level the series 1-1. But yeah, it's been an incredible and a brutal batting effort by India to get to 235 for 4 in 20 overs. We'll see you at Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you so much for watching Cricbuzz Live. It's all we have time for. Goodbye.